Spent from his journey, Arlo fell into his father's chair, the one thing still standing in the ashy ruin. It was his chair now, along with the title of Warden of the Wastes. Arlo's shoulders slumped at the weight of it, but only for a moment. The dark wings had nearly scorched the ratdom to ash before, and now it was for him to stop them. He was going to rebuild Winter's Edge, a beacon of hope from which to drive back the shadow. This much Arlo knew. No rat would rebuild Winter's Edge on an empty stomach. The kitchen had to be fixed and stocked. Leaf suggested Arlo visit the Night Eyes of the Golden Forest, known for their hearty food. Arlo hoped rat wasn't the key ingredient. The smoke had attracted help in the unlikely form of a pirate. Captain Blacktail had seen many towns razed in his years, usually by his own paw, a fact he chose not to mention as he offered his services. The ship King Rattus's Revenge would take the young warden wherever he had need to go. The autumnal gold canopy glimmered in the sunlight, held high by the silver boughs. There was no denying the wonder of the golden forest. The peace Arlo found beneath the leaves was not to last. A shrill cry cut through the calm, a call for help. The hoots came from inside the bug farm, along with a stench of pond scum and villainy. A frog trap. Grateful for her rescue, Erica the Ranger offered to guide Arlo to the hidden village of Nestminster. Nestminster's entrance was guarded. Under their helmet, the eyes of the guards seemed to glow. Was he prey walking into a hunter's camp? Arlo could not help but gasp at the sight. He had never seen a place so ornately crafted. It was nothing like the cold stone of home. The Parliament was deep in session when Erica and Arlo entered. The Night-Eye elders listened, still as statues, to the pleading of a chef whose daughter Frey was missing. Erica threw herself forward, proclaiming she would rescue the chef's daughter and needed no help. Then she was gone, leaving Arlo to face the elders alone. The elders' staring eyes unnerved Arlo, but when they asked him to protect Erica, he did not refuse. Frey's father told them she wanted fish for a new soup recipe. He told her never to go to the dangerous Moonlight Pond, but she was stubborn as she was brave. The chef handed Arlo a few poison antidotes without explanation. Arlo wondered what could go in soup that would have him so scared. Erica said they must be as stealthy as the owls of old. She gave him a bow carved from the silver boughs, quiet as a whisper and deadly as a talon. A white feather. Erica knew it was Frey's. They were on the right path. A frog scouting party squatted in the mushroom farm. Arlo's arrows would make swift work of them. The farmers emerged, shaken but grateful. Arlo had never met stripe snouts before. Badger brothers Marco and Lorenzo's keen eyes had seen Frey go by, headed for the pond. At Moonlight Pond, Frey was already preparing to leave. Her hunt, it seemed, was not done. With a hoot about an egg, she was gone. The farmer card. What it lacks in power, it makes up for in its positive qualities. The sky flashed with a blinding light. Suddenly, towering before him stood an imposing figure, his flaming sword heating the air around Arlo. Thrusting his sword into the air, the stranger imparted his gift onto the young warden. Arlo could feel the stranger's gift pulsing through his body, filling him with a burning desire to avenge his father and rid the North of the Darkwing scum. Tunnels are rarely used by Night Eyes, who prefer an open sky above. Arlo knew dangerous creatures lurked in such dark places. whole nest of eggs. She was uninterested in who the owner might be, but the mother slither scale was very interested in her. Side by side, Erica and Arlo forced the slither scale from its lair. Erica would not leave Frey to travel alone. They would see him back at the Parliament. Erica and Frey held wings as they asked Arlo and the elders for their blessing. They wanted to leave and start their own kitchen at Winter's Edge. All agreed. Arlo hoped slither scale eggs would not be on the menu. Arlo was keen to head home, but an owl called Sigrid stopped him. As Chancellor, she had a budget for someone to deal with the local slither scale problem. If he wanted the job, he best join her in the Rangers Guild. The Owl Rangers had been hunting all night, following the sounds of 1,000 tiny feet. This was a battle they did not wish to do alone. Arlo wondered how many they would be facing. Arlo had heard the sniffling of the heron leagues away. Ernest was the most skilled fisherman in the ratdom, or had been. In between sobs, he told Arlo he'd dropped his best rod in a well. The warden offered to find it, if only to stop the noise. centipedes. Northerners called them a death march. They would march no more when the warden was done. The first nest was destroyed. As a way to pay for the keep, he relished the challenge and almost wished there were more than one nest left. Arlo braced for an onslaught of tiny, deadly feet, but the second nest was empty. As he started to destroy the nest, he felt the fur on the back of his neck stand on end. Understood now how one beast could feel like an army. He wondered if he would get a bonus for felling this giant as well. owls were worried, which was a rare sight. A slither scale nest was nearby with a fresh clutch of eggs. The nest had to be destroyed before they hatched and unleashed chaos. Too late. The nest was a writhing snare of slither scale. If any escaped, who knew how many would fall prey to them? Arlo would not let that happen. The blaze destroyed the last of the nest, but Arlo had no time to rest. The slither scale had returned. With the slither scale defeated, the forest settled into tranquility once more. The owls called for Arlo's help. A ranger had gone to hunt a slither scale. He was seeking vengeance for a slither scale attack that took his family, but Arlo would not let the young ranger go the same way. Arlo found the ranger was already locked in battle with the slither scale, he would not survive long fighting alone. The young ranger was a fierce fighter, but no match for the slither scale. He barely thanked Arlo for helping him in this fight before he took off, seeking another. Arlo could not leave him to fight alone. There was no stopping him until the slither scale was defeated. The slither scale's lair. They would end its tyranny here and now. The slither scale was defeated at last. The young ranger took no spoils, and with only a brief hoot of thanks, he was gone. Arlo hoped the ranger's thirst for revenge was finally sated.